Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Tom Brown. I'm the Director of Insurance here at Zensar. And having worked with so many insurers, we've come across many blockers and impediments in the market that have prevented insurers from scaling and innovating in recent times. So I wanted to bring in one of our insurance experts, Animesh. Thanks for joining us today. Would you mind introducing yourself briefly?
Sure, Tom. My name is Animesh Mukherjee. In the insurance industry for 20 years. I've worked with about 12 different insurers across the globe and have done probably 7 different, core system transformations. So as soon as, Tom said it excited me. And as soon as, he promised me a couple of drinks, I absolutely agreed. And I said,
absolutely, especially coffee. We all need some coffee, right? So let's talk about why reverse engineering might not be the best option for your specific organization.
Look, Tom, we're all human beings. Right? We have done things for several years, right? And just being a human being, we all tend to think the way we do things, what we do is the best. And that's exactly why we always recommend to forward engineer. Because otherwise, what will happen, Tom, is the moment we try to look at the current system or the current ways of doing business, the current capabilities, we just get so much biased that we stop looking for the future, right? The art of possibility, starts getting hazier and hazier. And what we end up doing is actually a technology rewrite. So it's a new technology, but everything that we do today. So that's probably one of the biggest innovators of why we do not get the best, return on the investment, the capital investment that we do.
Yeah, agreed. And when it comes to looking forward too, right, there's a specific department in the organization, right, the innovation team, that typically is tasked with looking forward. So that brings us right into our next topic, right, which is why maybe everyone in the organization should be looking to innovate and not just the innovation team.
I absolutely agree with you, Tom, right? As even within Zensar, right, we have a team called solutions, right? We have it almost looks like they are the only ones who are responsible for innovating. Every insurance company, right, they're no different, right? There is a solutions team, there is an innovation team who are expected to do, look at the future, right? Evaluate all the options that are there. Now, what happens is the moment you do that, everybody else just assumes that innovation is not their responsibility. And what we always like to say is that, and this is like not textbook agile, Tom, right? I'm not preaching the textbook here.
Right.
But everybody should come together as a team with a common goal, start to look as if, consulting, as if innovation, setting the operating model for the future is everybody's responsibility. And that's probably what will help everybody to get the best for the future, to innovate the most, to scale.
Right.
And that's essentially, why a good construct, right, where we all work as one agile team is very important.
Right. So then we look at some of these innovative companies and the insurtechs that come into play, right? And there's a lot of solutions and options, right? Do you contract with an outside vendor? Do you build internally? There's a lot of options and solutions to pick from, right? It's almost like a restaurant menu. And this can cause analysis paralysis, right? So talk to me a little bit about that. How does an organization best navigate the waters of too many options?
So Tom, me and you, we have worked together on many of these things, right? We talk to this insurtechs, fintechs, whether it is cognitive automation, whether it is machine learning, whether it is a particular claims functionality or an underwriting functionality. Options are endless today, right? And sometimes, having many options is not the best that we can have at our table, right? And then, we almost feel obligated that we have to sit through, look at all the different options and somehow do, cost benefit analysis, if you will. And then we end up, wasting time, which we could have otherwise, picked and then implemented and give the, business value in return, right? A working software. So what we actually, recommend is framework, that will help you to analyze all the different solutions and quickly pick, what we want, the capabilities, that we all like, and move forward, implement it. So don't get, analyzed and paralyzed. Pick a partner, create a team, within your organization who really understands the ecosystem, really knows how to pick, what suits in the specific context and move forward.
Yeah, progress over perfection, right? So I'm a big proponent of that. So our second to last point, right, is that we're seeing conflicting business priorities. You've got billing asking for one thing, you've got claims asking for another thing, and you only have so much bandwidth and time, right? So how do you evaluate best and move forward with the right business priorities at the right time?
And see, look, Tom. I mean, there are many different stakeholders in every organization, right? We always have a finite amount of people, focus, and budget, right? None of
Right.
these are infinite, right? So create a quick cost benefit analysis. Understand, and this has to start at the top down, where some of the organizational goals, the future business plans are shared, and then it trickles down, so that using a cost benefit analysis, you make the best decision on what you work on, and just pick and start, right? Otherwise, it's probably, we try to do too many things, we are not going to succeed. We try to do too little, either way, we are not succeeding, Tom, right?
Yeah.
So let me take an example, right? If I have to have, a solution implemented for reducing the loss ratios, I'm sure claims has to do something as well as underwriting. Without the two, your loss ratios are not going to go down, right? So that's probably where, collaboration, having the right construct, a lot of the things that we talked about here, Tom, has to all come together. And that's essentially, what it is all about, right? Right priorities, right goals, go top down, collaborate, move forward.
Right. So now you've got the right tools in place, you've chosen a vendor, and it's aligned perfectly with business priorities, right? And now you go to implement, right? And now you need user adoption. So let's talk about where we've seen some of the companies that we've worked with or ones that we're talking to, right? We've seen struggles in this area, right? Where you've got everything lined up perfectly, and then when you go to implement, organizational change management becomes an issue, right? So maybe talk about what we're seeing and some of the ways we've addressed that in the past.
Sure, Tom. In my opinion, the biggest reason why org change management fails, and even before I go there, Tom, let me actually tell you, you could build the best possible solution, yet you could fail if you don't do change management right? Now, in my opinion, the biggest reason why companies do not do the best possible job with change management is because they don't really identify the right stakeholders and include them, involve them, right from the beginning throughout the process, right? And let's for a moment assume that we even had the right requirements, right? We really move forward and build the system. But at least for the sake of adoption, it is very important that you identify those change evangelists, right, or change champions, so that they then start to take it, through different parts of your organization. Everybody's upbeat about the new solution, right, and that's what will drive. There's obviously a lot of change involved. And again, back to how I started, right? We are all human beings. Change is not easy for us, right? But the right communication, right priorities, getting everybody included in their own diverse ways is probably absolutely critical, to get these right. And that's why organization change management is probably the single most important lever in helping companies innovate for the future, and really scale and get the best out of the capital investments.
Right. So let's summarize, right? Let's be forward looking, right? Let's create an organization that's innovating across the board, right? And it isn't siloed to one area, right? When you pick a solution, run with it, right? Progress over perfection, things are going to change on the fly, and you just have to kind of be okay with that, right? Make sure that those solutions are then aligned to your business priorities, right? And then when it comes to organizational change management, right? Making sure that everyone's aware of how the solution comes in, how it helps, and create that excitement, right, as to how this is going to help both short term and long term in the organization.
To wrap things up, Tom, retrospect, adapt. Quick failures are okay, right?
Yes.
It's absolutely. Get started, get doing retrospect. If you think you're not going in the right direction, change.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Animex, thank you so much for joining us for video one of our new video series here on LinkedIn. And we look forward to many more of these in the near future.